Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm at my home in Rochester, Kent. I want to read a piece about cannabis in the Sun newspaper today, Sunday. Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Sunday the 13th of July.
Alexa, what's the time, please? Alexa, what's the time?
It's 11:03 a.m.
Right guys, so the same shenanigans going on. There's a load of dog barking. You're going to hear a load of dog barking probably while I'm doing my videos throughout the day because the sun isn't out, so people are walking their dogs, right? And it's loud and it's noisy. I do apologise for any dog barking that appears in this video. Also, my mother has rung me. My mother Jennifer rang me, so it was all quiet up until my mother Jennifer rang me, and then we started getting all this ruff, 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 and all this nonsense first thing on a Sunday morning. So in the piece today, the Sun on Sunday, July the 13th, 2025, and I'm not sure if it was last year, but it was Friday the 13th. So it's Sunday the 13th of July. Super strong drug imports to UK at record high. By Andy Buckwell and Ben Endley. Ben Endley. The amount of super strength cannabis being smuggled in from abroad has escalated to a record high and is behind a terrifying crime wave sweeping Britain, the Sun on Sunday can reveal. More cannabis than any other drug was detected coming into the country by Border Force last year, with the black market in the illegal substance estimated to be worth 2.6 billion. Border officials seized 85 tonnes of herbal marijuana, up 73% on the previous year, and around 480,000 plants and 416 tonnes of cannabis resin, up 183% on 2023 figures. But despite the massive seizures, illegal drugs are still making their way onto the streets. Now we can reveal a new report has found a direct link between cannabis use and an increased risk of perpetration of physical violence, aggression, aggravated assault, sexual aggression, fighting and robbery. Criminology expert Dr. Simon Harding, who helped compile the University of West London report, told The Sun on Sunday the links between violence and cannabis are going under the radar. When there are calls for the decriminalisation or legalisation of cannabis, some are thinking of the cannabis of 30 or 40 years ago, which caused fits of giggles, sword attack. But what we're dealing with now is more like a Frankenstein genetically modified version of cannabis with very high THC levels, which makes people very paranoid. Our revelations come after Sir Andy Marsh, head of the College of Policing, demanded earlier this month that officers crack down on cannabis use. He said the smell of the plant-based drug, which is also known as marijuana or a weed, made him feel unsafe and is a sign of crime and disorder. Dr. Harding, who is also a regular expert witness at major drug trials, said the new strong cannabis being produced is leading to cases of psychosis. Dr. Harding said we only have to point to this sword attack. Psychosis is not going to happen to everybody, but if you are prone to that, and there may be underlying factors, it can be pretty serious stuff. And the psychiatric facilities in the UK are full of people suffering from cannabis psychosis. The influx of cannabis reaching our shores is in part fueled by other countries legalising its use. Of the 173 cannabis smuggling cases already dealt with by our courts this year, the majority came from Thailand. Cannabis was legalised there 3 years ago, but has become so rife and problematic that last month the government there imposed new rules to try to tackle the issue. Drug lords in Canada, where cannabis is legal, and the US, where some states have followed suit, are also major exporters. Last year, there were 75 arrests related to cannabis originating from Canada and 47 from the US, according to the National Crime Agency. Dr. Harding says the marketing of different drug strains from abroad is increasingly sophisticated. Users are being offered an a la carte menu with up to 50 choices. He said the menu is available with different prices, and I see it in every drug case I work on. People import it from parts of America and Thailand where it has been decriminalised. When other parts of the world decriminalise, it has a knock-on effect in other places. Figures from the Office for National Statistics show the proportion of robberies taking place while offenders are under the influence of drugs was up 34% in 2024, up from 25% in 2014. There has also been a worrying rise in children using THC or synthetic cannabis in vapes, with a number of schools issuing warnings to parents. Dr. Harding says his report, which was funded by the London Mayor's Office for Policing and Crime, found the use of cannabis among youngsters is a terrifying gateway to other crime and to violence. Use preyed upon. He said, "This is something that goes under most people's radar. It was a big finding in my report. It is also one of the major ways that youths are preyed upon." He explained the biggest way to recruit for county lines gangs is to get a boy into debt. The dealer sells them a little bit of weed on tick for a few weeks. The kids think they have made a friend and they get weed for free. By the end of the month, the boy has maybe smoked 50 pounds of cannabis. Then that dealer comes back and says the debt is 300 pounds, and if they don't pay, they will be in trouble. But earlier this month, London Mayor Sir Sadiq Khan called for the possession of small quantities of natural cannabis to be decriminalised. He said it would address concerns that UK drug laws were harming relations between the police and ethnic communities. But in New York, where marijuana was legalised in March 2021, State Senator Mario Matera warned such a move would be a disaster for our country. He told The Sun on Sunday, "All you do is smell cannabis on the streets here now. It's terrible and it's out of control. We have created a monster and more people are on drugs. The UK needs to look at the US states where the black market is running rampant. Look at the crime. Is that what you want? What has happened here should be a warning. Cannabis use is linked to an increased risk of perpetration of physical violence, aggravated assault, sexual aggression, fighting and robbery. 34% of robberies are committed by users, up from 25% in 10 years. This guy said weed at 13 ruined his life, by Ben Endley. A former addict blames smoking cannabis as a teenager for his life of crime. Paul Hannaford, now 56, used to fund his 500 a day heroin and crack habit through shoplifting and drug dealing. He had been stabbed 7 times and served 15 prison sentences before the age of 36. But Paul was a bright child with a talent for football growing up in Romford, East London. It all changed after he was introduced to weed at 13. Within 6 months he was smoking it every day. He told The Sun on Sunday, "If I hadn't tried cannabis, I wouldn't have committed crimes. I started with weed, but it made me lazy and affected my mental health. I got chucked out of 3 schools in 1 year. In every city I go to these days, addiction is getting worse, and a lot of it starts off with cannabis. Nobody's first drug is crack, cocaine or heroin. Weed was the gateway drug. Now clean for 18 years, Paul gives talks in schools and prisons about the dangers of drugs. He said if fewer people smoked cannabis, there would be less crime and fewer mental health issues." So this Paul guy is the same age as me. 56. Me, I've never taken cannabis, I've never taken heroin, I don't really drink, and I've never been in prison. That's a piece on The Sun on Sunday about